Now we're going to turn to Bruce Willis. It has been almost 3 months since his family announced the actor would be stepping away from his career after being diagnosed with aphasia.
Time now for some of the biggest trending stories. We have a health update on actor Bruce Willis as his wife prepares to release her upcoming book.
Bruce was first diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia.
For many years, Bruce Willis was the face of action movies. Strong, fearless, and full of life. The legendary actor is now facing one of the hardest battles of his life. After a heartbreaking medical diagnosis, his family has come together, surrounding him with love.
Actor Bruce Willis announced he's been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia.
Frontal temporal lobe dementia, as the name implies, the frontal lobes.
Support and quiet goodbyes. As his condition grows more serious, the people closest to him are preparing for what lies ahead, cherishing every moment they still have with him. What could be happening with Bruce? Join us as we uncover the shocking state of Bruce Willis' health. Bruce Willis's health struggle. The world was deeply shocked when Bruce Willis's family shared heartbreaking news. He had been diagnosed with aphasia.
Health issues facing actor Bruce Willis. His family reveals he has been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia,
A disorder that makes it hard for a person to speak, understand, read, or write. This explained why Bruce had been struggling so much during his recent work on film sets. The diagnosis brought painful clarity and also signaled something unthinkable: the end of his legendary acting career. For a man who had spent more than 4 decades lighting up the screen, this was not just sad. It was a life-altering blow. But true to his spirit, Bruce didn't face it alone. At his side, every step of the way, was his wife, Emma Hemming Willis, steadfast, loving, and strong. She helped him face this cruel twist of fate with dignity. Emma took to the public, gently asking for patience, understanding, and kindness as their family adjusted to this new and difficult reality. In that first public message, one thing stood out above all: unity. Emma, Bruce's ex-wife Demi Moore, and all 5 of Bruce's daughters stood together, showing the world that no matter what, they were going to be there for him, as a team, as a family. But life had more heartache in store. Less than 1 year after Bruce stepped away from the spotlight, his family gave another painful update. In February of the year 2023, they announced that Bruce's condition had worsened. Doctors had now diagnosed him with frontotemporal dementia, or FTD, a rare aggressive brain disease that slowly steals a person's ability to think, behave normally, and communicate. It was a heavy truth, one that gave more answers, but also brought a deeper kind of grief. There is no cure for FTD. Treatments are limited. And for Bruce, it meant something incredibly difficult. His ability to express himself, the very thing he had mastered through decades of acting, was slowly disappearing. Yet, through all the heartbreak, Bruce's family never let go of their love or their strength. Emma remained a solid pillar, becoming not only Bruce's full-time caregiver, but also a powerful voice for awareness. She didn't hide from the public or disappear in sorrow. Instead, she spoke openly and bravely, using her platform to educate others about dementia and its painful toll. She even started a brain health company called Make Time Wellness, aimed at supporting families going through similar challenges. She turned her pain into purpose. Through all the sadness, the family still found moments to celebrate. In March of the year 2024, Bruce turned 69. It was a deeply emotional birthday. Bittersweet.
Hooray! Bruce Willis's family sings him happy birthday in a new video, and the moment will melt your heart.
But full of love. Emma posted a touching tribute to her husband, calling him her North Star, the one who always guided her through the dark. Though Bruce was no longer the energetic action hero the world had known, to his family, he was still the heart of their home. As Bruce's condition continued to worsen, Emma's role grew even more important. She worked closely with dementia experts, ensured he received the best care possible, and never stopped prioritizing his comfort. The man who had once taken on the most dangerous roles on screen was now in the fight of his life, but he was not alone. His tribe, as Emma often called them, was with him every step of the way. And then came the hardest moment, the one no one ever wants to face. It became clear that Bruce's time was drawing to a close. Emma, with her quiet strength and deep love, began preparing for the final goodbye. She let the world in on her sadness, not for sympathy, but to honor Bruce's legacy and remind people that love is what matters most in the end. On a calm, peaceful morning, with sunlight softly glowing through the windows, Bruce lay surrounded by those who loved him most. Emma sat close, gently holding his hand. Her eyes were filled with love and sorrow, holding on to the last precious moments. She whispered words of thanks and deep affection, her voice steady, though the pain in her heart was undeniable. This wasn't just the end of a life. It was the final, quiet connection between two souls who had weathered every storm together. The room was silent, but not empty. It was full of emotion. Grief, yes, but also peace, gratitude, and unbreakable love. Each of Bruce's children stood nearby, their eyes shining with tears and tenderness. They knew they were witnessing the closing page in the life of a man who had given them more than fame or success. Bruce Willis, to them, wasn't just a movie star. He was a dad who had been there when it counted, giving advice, hugs, laughter, and unconditional love. Though the pain was great, there was also comfort in knowing they had done everything possible to fill his final days with love, care, and dignity. The world will always remember Bruce Willis for his unforgettable roles in blockbuster films, Die Hard, The Sixth Sense, and so many more. But to his family, he was something far greater. He was a husband who never stopped loving, a father who always showed up, a man who met life's hardest trials with grace, bravery, and humility. But how was his personal life? Let's find out. Bruce Willis' family journey. As Bruce Willis's acting career soared to new heights, something quietly beautiful was also happening behind the scenes. His personal life was beginning to change in a way that would shape his future in the most meaningful way. In the year 2007, Bruce met Emma Hemming, an English model and actress. What started as a casual meeting quickly turned into something much deeper. There was an instant spark between them, a strong connection that even Bruce didn't expect. After years of dealing with the pressures of fame and the ups and downs of past relationships, he found in Emma someone truly special. Emma saw more than just the Hollywood star. She saw a man who was not only charming and witty, but also deeply kind, down to earth, and full of heart. That kindness drew her in and became the foundation of their growing bond. Just 2 years later, in the year 2009, Bruce and Emma got married in a beautiful, intimate ceremony on the breathtaking islands of Turks and Caicos. Surrounded by their closest friends and family, it was more than just a wedding. It was the beginning of a whole new chapter in Bruce's life. Before Emma, Bruce had been married to actress Demi Moore. Though their marriage ended in the year 2000, it had given them 3 daughters, Rumor, Scout, and Tallulah. Despite their romantic split, Bruce and Demi remained close friends.
Their marriage may have ended years ago, but Bruce Willis and Demi Moore still have one of the most fascinating celebrity relationships ever.
They always made their daughters the top priority, creating a strong co-parenting bond that many admired. This deep commitment to their children laid the foundation for what would later become an extraordinary and loving blended family. From the very start, Emma embraced this extended family with warmth and openness. She formed close ties with Demi and the 3 girls, helping create a peaceful and loving environment, a rarity in the world of celebrities. The Willis clan became more than just a family. They became what Bruce once called a tribe. They supported one another, celebrated each other's victories, and leaned on each other during tough times, always putting love and togetherness above all else. In the year 2012, Bruce and Emma welcomed their first daughter, Mabel Ray, into their lives. Then, in 2014, their second daughter, Evelyn Penn, was born. These two little girls brought new life and energy into the family, and Bruce stepped into fatherhood once again with open arms and a full heart. Far from his action hero image, Bruce became a gentle, joyful dad, often seen playing with his daughters, his face glowing with pride and happiness. He was a man who had once played tough guys on screen, but in real life, he was a loving husband and a devoted father who cherished his family more than anything else. But as time passed, Bruce began to face new and deeply personal challenges, ones that would test his strength in ways no movie role ever could. And through it all, his family, the tribe he had built with love, stood by him, just as he had always stood by them. Did he have a good start in his life? Let's take a closer look. Bruce Willis. Early life. Bruce Willis was born as Walter Bruce Willis on March 19, 1955, in the small town of Idar Oberstein, West Germany. His early life was far from the spotlight. His mother, Marlene, was from a town called Kassel in Germany, and his father, David Willis, was an American soldier stationed in Europe after World War II. Bruce's birth in Germany was a direct result of the U.S. military presence in Europe at the time. While Cernsioveries, David met and married Marlene. Their marriage began a journey that would one day lead their son to Hollywood fame, though Bruce's childhood was anything but glamorous. In 1957, when Bruce was just 2 years old, the family's life took a major turn. After David was discharged from the military, the Willises packed up and moved to the United States. They settled in Carneys Point, New Jersey, a small, working-class town.
Bruce had a stutter while growing up in New Jersey.
With strong industrial roots. Life in Carneys Point revolved around hard work, grit, and determination, values that would later become the foundation of Bruce's character. David Willis was a man who wore many hats. Over the years, he worked as a welder, a master mechanic, and a factory worker, jobs that required strength, skill, and a tough work ethic. He wasn't just earning a living. He was part of a generation that believed in getting their hands dirty and working hard to provide for their families. Bruce's mother, Marlene, was just as hardworking. She held a job at a local bank while also managing the family's finances at home. Together, David and Marlene raised their children in a household grounded in responsibility, support, and resilience. These early years left a deep mark on Bruce. He often talks with pride about his blue-collar roots. For him, it's not just something to mention, it's the truth of how he was raised. He grew up surrounded by people who valued honesty, humility, and the importance of pushing through life's challenges. That upbringing shaped who he would become, both as an actor and as a person. But Bruce's journey wasn't easy. As a child, he struggled with a stutter that made speaking difficult. For a young boy in a tough neighborhood, where silence was sometimes mistaken for strength, this speech issue could have held him back. Some classmates at Penns Grove High School even teased him, calling him Buck Buck because of the way he spoke. Still, Bruce didn't let it define him. Instead of hiding, he searched for ways to overcome it. He found that escape and his voice on the stage. Joining the school's drama club turned out to be life-changing. When Bruce acted, something remarkable happened. His stutter disappeared. Playing characters helped him speak more freely and confidently. Acting became more than just a hobby. It became a powerful tool that gave him freedom. It allowed him to say things he couldn't say before and helped him grow in confidence both on and off the stage. As Bruce kept performing, his self-esteem grew. He earned the respect of his classmates and started to discover leadership skills he hadn't known he had. That early discovery, that acting could help him break free of his struggles, set him on the path that would lead to his career in film and television. It was the beginning of something much bigger than he or his family could have imagined. By the time Bruce Willis finished high school at Penns Grove in the year 1973, some of the qualities that would later make him a star were already showing: his charm, determination, and strong spirit. But like many young people just out of school, Bruce didn't have a clear path to success. He took on all kinds of jobs to get by, none of them anything like the bright lights of Hollywood. One of his first jobs was as a security guard at the Salem nuclear power plant. It was a serious job that required him to stay alert and responsible. Though it was far from glamorous, it taught Bruce the value of discipline and focus, traits that would serve him well in the future. He also worked a tough job transporting workers at the DuPont Chambers Works factory in Deepwater, New Jersey. The work was physically demanding, much like the jobs his father did. These early experiences helped Bruce build the grit and determination that would one day carry him to fame. Even though these jobs were hard and his future was uncertain, Bruce never gave up on his dream of becoming an actor. He went to auditions and acted in local plays whenever he could. These small roles helped him grow as a performer and taught him important lessons about hard work and staying true to himself. So, how did he rise to stardom? Let's find out. Bruce Willis' career. Bruce Willis's big break came in the year 1985, when he was chosen from over 3,000 hopefuls to play the role of David Addison Jr. in the TV show Moonlighting. This wasn't just another job. It was a golden opportunity that launched his career. The show mixed comedy, drama, and romance in a way that grabbed people's attention, and Bruce's quick wit, charm, and natural talent made him stand out. His chemistry with co-star Sybil Shepherd was electric, and his smart, funny detective character became a fan favorite. Over the show's 5 seasons, Bruce won both an Emmy and a Golden Globe, proving he was not just funny. He was a serious actor with real depth. Moonlighting made Bruce a household name. At the height of its success, a major beverage company, Seagram, offered him a huge endorsement deal. He became the face of their golden wine cooler ads. The deal was worth $7 million, a life-changing amount for someone who had spent years scraping by in New York. But Bruce didn't let the money define him. In 1988, he made a surprising personal decision. He chose not to renew the contract and gave up drinking altogether. It was a bold move that showed he was true to his values, even if it meant walking away from a fortune. As Moonlighting remained popular, Bruce began to explore roles in film. In 1987, he starred in his first leading movie, Blind Date, a comedy with Kim Basinger. The movie did well, proving he could hold his own on the big screen. The next year, he played a more serious role as real-life cowboy actor Tom Mix in the film Sunset. It gave him a chance to try something different, but it was just a warm-up for what came next. In 1988, Bruce took on the role that would change his life forever, John McClane in Die Hard. At first, no one expected the movie to become a classic, but Bruce brought the wisecracking New York cop to life with grit and humor. He even did many of his own stunts, adding a rawness that thrilled audiences. Die Hard earned more than $138 million worldwide and turned Bruce from a TV actor into a full-blown action star. After Die Hard, Bruce's career took off. He showed that he wasn't just good at action. He could handle drama and comedy too. In 1989, he starred in Country, playing a Vietnam War veteran, showing his emotional range. But the early 1990s brought a few missteps. Films like The Bonfire of the Vanities and Hudson Hawk didn't do well, and his career hit a rough patch. Still, Bruce didn't give up. He bounced back with The Last Boy Scout and Striking Distance, proving he was still a force in Hollywood. Then came Pulp Fiction in 1994.
The 67-year-old film star is best known for his role in the blockbusters and iconic films as 1994's Pulp Fiction.
Directed by Quentin Tarantino, the film was a huge hit, and Bruce's role as Butch Coolidge, a tough boxer with a quiet strength, reminded everyone just how talented he really was. The success of Pulp Fiction revived his career and opened up even more exciting roles. Through the rest of the 90s, Bruce kept surprising audiences. He starred in the sci-fi adventure The Fifth Element and gave one of his best performances in The Sixth Sense, a psychological thriller that became a massive hit and showed his ability to take on deep, emotional roles. By the time the 2000s began, Bruce Willis had become one of Hollywood's most reliable and respected stars. He wasn't just the guy from Die Hard or Moonlighting anymore. He was a multi-talented actor who had been through ups and downs and always come out stronger. But his journey wasn't over yet. There were still new roles to explore, new challenges to face, and a lasting legacy to build. What is Bruce Willis' current financial status? Let's find out. Bruce Willis' net worth. Bruce Willis is a retired American actor, producer, and musician whose success in Hollywood made him one of the richest stars in the industry. Over the course of his career, he built a fortune estimated at $250 million. From the late 1980s all the way to his retirement, Bruce remained one of the top-paid actors in the world, earning massive paychecks for his roles in some of the biggest films of his time. One of the most impressive moments in his financial journey came with the 1999 thriller The Sixth Sense. For that movie alone, Bruce ended up earning a jaw-dropping $114 million. His base salary was $14 million, but he also had a smart deal that gave him a percentage of the film's profits. And since the movie became a blockbuster hit, that deal paid off in a big way. In fact, his earnings from The Sixth Sense are among the highest ever made by a single actor from a single film. While Keanu Reeves technically holds the top spot with $156 million, that amount came from 2 Matrix films combined. So, if we're talking about money earned from just one movie, Bruce Willis may still hold the record for the biggest payday in Hollywood history. So, what do you think about Bruce Willis's health, which has led his family to say goodbye? Let us know your answer in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe.